Hey YouTube. So this video vlog or video post is me just you just thinking about the jokes that we all make about you know how the generation X or the generation Z or whatever generation you're in, how we make fun of each other. We do, and it's funny. It is funny. But I mean, on a serious note, I want to talk about um, why I think each generation has a similar flippant, I don't care attitude. It's not just Gen X, I mean, or the millennials or Gen Z who, say I don't care. It's not, it's all the generations have an I don't care attitude at this point. And I mean, it's not the worst thing that has ever happened. It's not the end of the world, not in my opinion. It's just where we are. I mean, let's start with the boomers. Why would the boomers have a flippant, I don't care attitude? They're old. They are old. They are, already in their 70s or older. So they're old. Okay? That's why they don't care. Gen X, we're tired. We are in our 50s and 60s and we're frickin' exhausted. That's why we don't care. The millennials and Gen Z, they pretty much have the same reasons why they don't care. It's not because they're old, and maybe some of the millennials are getting tired, but they're not. They're not as tired as Gen X. No, the millennials and Gen Z don't care because they're too smart. They already know the numbers, the statistics, that half of the marriages end in divorce, that half of the mortgages end up in bankruptcy, that that the bad guys usually win. They already know. So that's basically what's going on with why nobody cares. Nobody cares because the boomers are too old to care, Gen X is too tired to care, and the millennials and Gen Z are too smart to care. Too old, too tired, and too smart. That's why nobody cares. And it is sad. I try. I mean, I used to care a lot. And I think that that's why Gen X is so tired. We cared a lot. We really did. And I think that there was a lot of unfairness um, to Gen Xers. We were in a situation where we saw our parents obtain careers right out of high school. They got great paying salaries. They got a house. They, they got the American dream was handed to them on a silver platter. We didn't. We barely got out of college and made, maybe, you know, almost what they were making right out of high school. And the housing market had doubled. So if you didn't have a marriage or a partner with another salary, you weren't getting a house. Mm. So Gen X got gypped, even though we worked and paid rent, we got gypped. And then now the millennials and the Gen Zs, it's not much different. It's pretty much the same. I mean, they have minimum wage is higher, but they have so few job opportunities now. They don't have the job opportunities that the Gen Xers had, even if the salary's higher. They don't have the housing market opportunities that the boomers had, and so they're just uh, they're just too smart basically to care. Like I said, they're too smart to care. If they have a job, I mean, that's about as much as they're going to care. And it's sad. It's sad what's happening because we don't even know how to promote an American dream anymore. What American dream? What? You want to say the house and the nuclear family is still the American dream? I mean, I don't think you can sell that to the boomers, the Gen Xers, the millennials or Gen Z. I don't think you can sell that. It's just not anymore. I'm not saying that there's no romance. I'm not saying that there's no love. I'm not saying that there's no happily married people. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that between the boomers and Gen X, society was quietly discovering that a lot of marriages happened for financial reasons, and that wasn't very romantic. It was survival. And then the millennials and Gen Z, they don't even know what to think of romance. I mean, they've been raised on very, very violent movies. Oh, a Gen Xer might say, "Yeah, man, when I first saw Jaws or The Exorcist, that was like shocking." That's nothing compared to what the millennials and Gen Z have seen on the screen. So I'm just saying, give them a break. Whatever generation you are. I mean, if you're a boomer, yeah, you're old. I know why it's hard for you to care. If you're a Gen Xer, I definitely know why we don't care. We're lucky we can crawl out of bed. We're so tired. And if you're a millennial or a Gen Z, all I can say is, I don't blame you if you don't care because I mean it just means that you understand everything a lot sooner. I just hope that you have the resilience and the strength to keep your head up because life is long, and in my experience, it never gets easier. You just keep learning to adapt, and you just keep learning to figure out a way to keep going.